Remember these 3 methods. You will thank me after 50 years. Zen Story, Buddhist Teachings. Have you ever wondered how the wisdom of the ancients could shape your future even decades from now? Imagine unlocking the secrets to a peaceful and prosperous life, not through material wealth, but through clarity, intention, and timeless teachings. In this video, we're diving deep into 3 transformative methods from Zen stories and Buddhist teachings that will not only change the way you live today, but also ensure you'll be grateful for them in 50 years. These aren't just abstract ideas, they are practical, grounded steps that can protect your well-being, invite success, and nurture inner peace. Struggling with life's uncertainties or feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of today's world? Stick with me, and I'll guide you through simple yet profound techniques that can help clear your mind, safeguard your path, and lead you to a life of balance and abundance. 50 years from now, you'll look back and realize how these teachings helped you overcome obstacles and find lasting fulfillment. Let's explore these ancient methods together. You'll be glad you did. Number 1. Garlic and mindfulness, a ritual for inner peace. In life, simple practices can often bring about profound changes. One such practice, rooted in ancient wisdom, involves the use of something as humble as a clove of garlic. While garlic is most commonly known for its health benefits in cooking, it also carries a deeper symbolic significance in spiritual practices. Now, I'm going to share a unique method that combines mindfulness, positive energy, and the simple act of carrying garlic. By doing so, you can foster inner peace, enhance your well-being, and even attract good fortune into your life. First, take a single clove of garlic, hold it in your hand, and close your eyes. In this moment of stillness, focus on your breathing and allow yourself to be present. Visualize a gentle light surrounding you, one that brings calmness, peace, and happiness. This light represents the positive energy that you are inviting into your life. While holding the garlic, repeat positive affirmations that resonate with you. These might be phrases like, "I am protected," "I am at peace," or "I welcome abundance and prosperity into my life." The act of speaking these affirmations is not just about words, it is about cultivating belief. When you truly believe in the energy you're channeling, you unlock the hidden potential of this simple object in your hand. The idea is that the garlic, through your belief and intention, becomes a symbol of protection and positivity. It acts like a faithful companion that stays with you, protecting your energy and your space wherever you go. Think of it as a physical reminder of your intention to keep negativity at bay and stay grounded in peace. An interesting aspect of this practice is that over time, the garlic might begin to change. If you notice that it starts to dry out, darken, or deteriorate, this is seen as a sign that the garlic has absorbed negative energy from your environment. This could mean it has done its job of protecting you from external negativity or inner turmoil. When this happens, it's time to replace the garlic with a fresh garlic and continue the process. This subtle practice of paying attention to the garlic's condition is a reminder to stay mindful of the energy around us and within us. Just as the garlic changes over time, so too do the circumstances of our lives. Being aware of these shifts helps us stay in tune with what we need for ongoing protection and peace. You might wonder how something so small and simple can make such a difference in your life. The answer lies not just in the garlic itself, but in the intention behind the practice. By consciously carrying this object with you and dedicating time to visualize peace and protection, you are actively creating a shield of positive energy around yourself. This is especially useful in environments that tend to be filled with stress, such as the workplace. The constant demands of modern life can easily wear down our mental and emotional defenses, leading to feelings of anxiety, frustration, and overwhelm. But when you carry your clove of garlic and reinforce its power through mindfulness and affirmations, it serves as a tool to ground yourself and deflect negative energy that might otherwise drain you. In addition to its protective qualities, many believe that this practice also has the potential to improve your financial well-being. By staying centered and focused on positivity, you may find yourself more open to opportunities and more resilient in challenging situations. Whether you attribute this to luck, positive thinking, or simply being in the right mindset, the results are often surprising. This practice is simple to incorporate into your daily life. All you need is a fresh clove of garlic and a quiet moment to set your intentions. You can carry the garlic with you in your pocket, purse, or even keep it in your workspace. Make it a habit to periodically check on the garlic, replacing it when necessary to keep the energy fresh and positive. Over time, you may find that this small act becomes a comforting ritual that helps you navigate life's challenges with a greater sense of calm and confidence. Whether you believe in the spiritual properties of garlic or simply use it as a mindfulness tool, it can have a profound impact on your overall well-being. In the hustle and bustle of life, it's easy to overlook the power of simple, mindful actions. Yet practices like this one, holding a clove of garlic, visualizing peace, and repeating positive affirmations, can lead to significant shifts in how we experience the world around us. It's not just about the garlic, it's about the energy, belief, and intention that you put into the practice. Try it for yourself and observe the changes in your energy, your mood, and even your luck. Sometimes it's the small steps that lead to the biggest transformations in life. Number 2. Manifest abundance. The secret of garlic and affirmations. The second method focuses on an intriguing practice involving garlic, but the true essence behind this method is not the physical act itself, but the belief and intention you bring to it. Let me explain this in a way that truly resonates with you and offers deeper insight into the practice. You're instructed to take 7 whole cloves of garlic, hold them in your left hand, close your eyes, and say 3 times, "I attract infinite wealth." This may seem like a simple or even unusual act, but the key here isn't just about holding garlic or saying the words. It's about what's happening within you when you do it. When you close your eyes and speak those words, you're giving your mind and heart a moment to align. You're opening yourself to possibilities and planting a seed of faith in abundance, not just in wealth, but in life itself. The garlic is symbolic, a physical reminder of your intention. The number 7, often associated with spiritual completeness or luck in various traditions, adds another layer of meaning to this ritual. Yet the most powerful part of this method is belief. Think about it. How often do we move through life with doubts, uncertainties, or fears about what we deserve? This method is about shifting that mindset. It's a small but profound step toward affirming that you are worthy of abundance. When you repeat, "I attract infinite wealth," you're not just making a wish, you're making a declaration. You are telling the universe, or even your own subconscious mind, that you are ready to receive the prosperity and abundance that life has to offer. And more than just material wealth, this practice can be a reminder to cultivate a mindset of gratitude and openness, to recognize the wealth already present in your life, whether it's in relationships, opportunities, or simply peace of mind. You may wonder, can something so simple really make a difference? It's an important question. The truth is, many of us underestimate the power of intention. Whether or not you believe the act of holding garlic has a magical effect, what truly matters is your faith in your ability to create change in your life, By performing this ritual, you are reminding yourself daily that abundance is not far off or unattainable. It's something you can welcome into your life with the right mindset. The garlic in your pocket may simply serve as a token, a little reminder throughout the day to stay in that mindset of abundance and possibility. What would your life look like if you fully believed in your potential to attract wealth, joy, or any other positive outcome? And how would your actions shift if you operated from a place of confidence rather than scarcity? So go ahead, give this method a try, not because it promises magical results, but because it offers you an opportunity to practice faith in yourself and in life's capacity to provide. The lesson here is simple, yet profound. What we hold in our mind and heart often manifests in our lives. Believe in the abundance that is already within your reach, and you'll find that opportunities start to appear in ways you might not have expected. Wealth, in all its forms, follows those who truly believe they are ready to receive it. Let this small ritual be a gentle nudge toward cultivating that belief. The garlic and the words are tools, but the real magic lies in your willingness to believe in something greater for yourself. Number 3, the key ritual for wealth and happiness. Now, let's dive into the final method, one that involves a powerful symbol you may already have in your life, a key. But this isn't just any ordinary key. It's a talisman that can help unlock not only physical doors, but also the doors to prosperity, success, and abundance in all areas of your life. This simple yet meaningful practice can help you attract the good things you've been longing for. Keys have long been seen as symbols of access and opportunity. They represent the ability to open up pathways that were once closed off, and in many spiritual traditions, they are considered powerful tools for manifesting good fortune. The key is more than just a physical object. It's a reminder that you hold the potential to unlock opportunities and create the life you desire. To make this key even more potent, choose one that is either silver or gold. These two colors are often associated with wealth, success, and positive energy. Silver, with its connection to the moon, symbolizes intuition and clarity, while gold represents the sun, radiating power, strength, and prosperity. By selecting a key in one of these colors, you're aligning yourself with the energy of abundance. Next, take a green ribbon and tie 3 knots around the key. The color green is universally recognized as the color of growth, renewal, and financial success. Just as plants grow and flourish in green environments, so too can your prosperity grow when you embrace this color in your daily life. The number 3 is particularly important in many spiritual traditions. It represents balance, completeness, and harmony, often symbolizing the idea that good things come in threes. Think of it as a way to align your mind, body, and spirit toward the goal of receiving prosperity. By tying 3 knots on the green ribbon, you are reinforcing your intention to attract success in all areas of your life. Once you've tied the knots, take a moment to set your intention clearly and confidently. Say out loud, "I am ready to receive prosperity." This affirmation is crucial because it helps you align your energy with the goal you're aiming for. By declaring that you are open to receiving abundance, you are signaling to the universe and to yourself that you are prepared to accept the opportunities and blessings that come your way. Now that you've created this powerful talisman, the next step is to keep it close to you at all times. You can either carry it in your pocket or place it under your pillow. Each time you see or touch the key, let it serve as a reminder of the prosperity and good fortune you are working to attract. This simple act of keeping the key close will help you stay focused on your goals, and it will continually reinforce your intention to manifest positive outcomes. Over time, you may notice subtle shifts in your life. Perhaps new opportunities arise, or you find yourself feeling more confident and prepared to tackle challenges. These are signs that the energy you've been cultivating with your talisman is starting to manifest in your reality. The key is not just a tool to open physical doors, it is a symbol of your ability to unlock new opportunities and invite prosperity into your life. By choosing a silver or gold key, tying 3 knots on a green ribbon, and setting a clear intention, you are creating a powerful talisman that can help guide you towards success. Remember, this practice is not just about the key itself. It's about your belief in the process and your readiness to receive the good things you deserve. Keep this talisman close as a daily reminder that prosperity is on its way to you. If you've watched up to this point, you're already taking the first steps towards lifelong peace and wisdom through these timeless Buddhist teachings. Comment below with Zen Journey to affirm your dedication to these transformative methods. Don't leave yet. There are even deeper insights ahead that can guide you toward a life of balance and enlightenment. Stay until the end to fully absorb these teachings that will benefit you for years to come. Number 4. Meaning behind rituals. These rituals aren't just about the objects themselves, they're about the mindset they cultivate. When you focus on abundance, you shape your reality. These items help you connect with your inner self, building the confidence and patience needed to face any challenge. By nurturing your inner world, you create a reflection of that in your outer life, inviting positive energy and prosperity. Here are the 5 key meanings we want to highlight, and they are for you. Let's listen together. First meaning, the power of intention and belief. In life, we often look for symbols and objects to protect us or bring us luck. Some may believe in the power of carrying a garlic clove for protection or holding onto a key to unlock opportunities. But the real power behind these objects does not come from their physical form. Instead, it stems from the intention and belief we place in them. The Buddha once said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This reminds us that our mindset shapes our reality. When we believe that something even as simple as garlic can protect us, or a key can open doors to new opportunities, we empower ourselves to act accordingly. Our belief in these objects creates a positive mental state, driving us to take actions that align with our goals, much like in positive psychology, where the focus on mindset and clear intention leads to better outcomes. Let's take the example of garlic, a common symbol in various cultures believed to ward off evil. While garlic itself doesn't hold any magical power, the belief that it does can change how you approach challenges. When you carry that belief with you, it's like carrying a shield of confidence. It's not about the garlic, it's about what it represents, the strength of your own conviction. By believing in protection, you may act more confidently, more boldly, and with a sense of security. In modern life, this can be compared to carrying good luck charms or practicing daily affirmations. The objects themselves aren't the source of the magic. It's the belief that changes your perspective and empowers your actions. As the Buddha taught, what you dwell upon, you become. Similarly, let's think about the key, which has long been a symbol of unlocking doors or opportunities. When you hold on to a key, believing it will open doors in your life, you're setting the stage for success. This belief pushes you to seek out new opportunities and be ready when they arise. The key, like the garlic, is a metaphor for the inner power you hold. When you believe in your ability to unlock new paths, you begin to see possibilities where others see obstacles. It's much like how setting intentions in positive psychology works. By focusing your mind on what you want to achieve, you unconsciously start aligning your actions to make it happen. As Lao Tzu said, The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Holding on to that key symbolizes the first step toward opening the door to your future, but it's your belief and action that turn the key. In today's world, we are often surrounded by noise, distractions, pressures, and doubts. But by setting our intentions and focusing our beliefs, we gain the clarity to cut through that noise. Whether it's a garlic clove, a key, or any other symbol you choose to believe in, these are merely reminders of your own inner strength and capability. In the teachings of Buddhism, the importance of right intention is central. Right intention is part of the Noble Eightfold Path and refers to the determination to do good, avoid harm, and cultivate wisdom. When you live with this kind of intention, you become unstoppable, not because of some external object, but because of the internal power you've cultivated. The lesson here is simple, yet profound. It's not the object that holds power, but the belief and intention behind it. This concept applies to modern life as well. Consider how setting an intention at the start of your day can completely change how you experience that day. By intentionally deciding to be patient, kind, or focused, you align your actions with that mindset, and the day unfolds differently than if you had started without a clear intention. As the Buddha said, with our thoughts, we make the world. By focusing on positive intentions, we create positive outcomes. In conclusion, while garlic cloves and keys may not hold actual magical powers, the real magic lies in the power of belief and intention. By setting clear intentions and holding firm to your beliefs, you can shape your reality and bring about positive change in your life. This practice, rooted in both Buddhism and modern psychology, reminds us that the true power lies within. As you go through life, remember that it's not the symbols or objects that define your success. It's your belief in yourself and the intentional actions you take that create the outcomes you seek. So, as you navigate the challenges and opportunities ahead, remember that the key to your future is already in your hands. Trust in your intention, act with belief, and watch as the doors to new possibilities open before you. Second meaning, the symbolism of garlic and keys. In many cultures, garlic is known as a powerful talisman. It is believed to protect homes and individuals from negative energies and harmful spirits. But beyond just warding off these external forces, garlic also serves as a reminder to guard ourselves against internal negative influences. It's easy to get caught up in emotions like anger, jealousy, and frustration, and these feelings can drain our peace of mind. Just as garlic shields against evil spirits, it can symbolize the way we must protect our mental well-being. The lesson here is simple. It's not just about protecting ourselves from the world outside, but also from the harmful thoughts and emotions within us. How often do we find ourselves pulled down by negative thoughts or emotions? How can we learn to better manage these internal struggles? Similarly, keys are symbols that go beyond their practical use. While they are designed to open doors, they also represent much more on a metaphorical level. Think about the doors you have opened in your life: opportunities, relationships, new beginnings. Keys are symbols of potential, showing us that there is always something waiting to be unlocked, whether it's a new career path, a personal growth opportunity, or even a new perspective on life. Keys remind us that we hold the ability to unlock success, prosperity, and growth, both personally and professionally. They show us that we have control over our lives, that we are not locked out of the possibilities the world has to offer. Do you sometimes feel like you're standing in front of a locked door, unsure of how to move forward? The key is in your hands. You just have to recognize it. Both garlic and keys serve as powerful reminders of the control we have over our own lives. Garlic teaches us to shield ourselves from negativity, while keys symbolize the potential for new opportunities. By balancing these two lessons, we are reminded that we have both the power to protect our peace and the freedom to choose our path. In life, it's important to remember that we can always guard ourselves from negativity, but we also have the ability to unlock doors to new possibilities. What doors are waiting for you to open them? What negative energies are holding you back from becoming your best self? The answers to these questions may just be the keys to your personal growth and well-being. At the end of the day, the real lesson here is that we are in charge of our own paths. Garlic and keys are symbols that encourage us to stay mindful of the energy we allow into our lives and to remain open to the endless possibilities that lie ahead. By protecting our mental health and actively seeking new opportunities, we can lead a life full of positivity, growth, and success. So, as you move forward in your journey, ask yourself, what are you protecting yourself from? And what doors will you open next? The choice is always yours. Third meaning, the importance of practice and patience. Imagine yourself 50 years from now, reflecting on your life and realizing that the small, consistent steps you took over time made all the difference. Today, I'm going to share with you one of the most important lessons in Buddhist practice, the power of persistence and patience. This lesson comes from an old Zen story, and it speaks directly to the essence of achieving success and fulfillment, not through quick fixes, but through steady, mindful action. Whether it's carrying a simple object like garlic for protection or using a symbolic key to unlock prosperity, what really matters is how you approach these practices. They aren't one-time actions that magically change your life overnight. Instead, they are habits, daily routines that, when nurtured with effort and focus, gradually lead to the outcomes you desire. Buddha once said, "A jug fills drop by drop." This quote beautifully encapsulates the idea we're exploring today. Success, protection, prosperity, these are not things that happen with one dramatic gesture. They are the result of countless small efforts, repeated day after day. Think about it. How many times in life have we started something with enthusiasm, only to give up when we didn't see immediate results? This is where patience comes in. The garlic you might carry in your pocket isn't going to protect you if you don't consistently remind yourself why you're carrying it. The symbolic key to prosperity won't unlock anything unless you commit to using it with intention every single day. Now, I want you to reflect on your own life. Have there been times when you started a practice, whether it was a morning meditation, a new exercise routine, or even a small daily ritual, and then abandoned it because the benefits didn't appear right away? How would your life look today if you had stuck with it? This is where the real magic lies, not in the immediate rewards, but in the gradual transformation that comes from consistency. Patience is key to joy, as the Buddha also taught. When we cultivate patience, we train ourselves to endure the waiting period between planting the seed and seeing the fruit. Every action you take, no matter how small, carries with it the potential for profound change. But it requires faith in the process and trust that your efforts will bear fruit over time. Ask yourself, what are the things in your life that you are rushing through? What practices or habits have you abandoned because they didn't produce results quickly enough? If you could commit to them again with renewed patience, how might they shape your future? These are important questions because they challenge us to rethink how we approach our goals. We live in a world that prizes instant gratification, but Buddhist teachings remind us that true success comes from the slow, steady accumulation of effort. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "What we call obstacles are actually the way." The challenges we face on the path are not signs that we should give up, but opportunities to deepen our commitment. So the next time you find yourself tempted to give up on something because the results aren't immediate, remember this: everything worthwhile takes time. Whether it's a practice to bring you peace, a habit to protect your energy, or a ritual to invite prosperity into your life, what matters most is your ability to stick with it. Take heart in knowing that with patience and persistence, you are building something far more valuable than any quick fix could offer. You are cultivating a life of meaning, purpose, and resilience. And that, my friend, is something you will be profoundly grateful for 50 years from now and beyond. If you're still watching, you're on the path to embracing the wisdom that can change your life. Type "grateful wisdom" in the comments to show your commitment to living mindfully and peacefully. Keep watching until the end to discover even more insights that will bring lasting harmony to your journey. Fourth meaning: interaction with the surrounding energy. Let's explore 3 simple but profound methods that can transform your life, especially as you grow older. You may not realize it now, but when you're 50 or even 65, these methods will feel like priceless wisdom. Inspired by Zen stories and Buddhist teachings, these practices are timeless and have guided countless people to a more balanced, harmonious life. The first method is to cultivate mindfulness in your daily activities. Whether you're sitting down for a meal, working on a project, or simply walking, the ability to be fully present in the moment will change how you experience life. Too often, we get lost in distractions, consumed by thoughts of the past or anxieties about the future. But as a famous Zen saying goes, "When walking, walk. When eating, eat." By learning to focus on what is directly in front of you, you free yourself from the mental clutter that drains your energy and clouds your peace of mind. For men in their 30s, 40s and beyond, being mindful is not just a spiritual practice, it's a way to manage the pressures of career, family and health. Mindfulness leads to a calmer mind, better decision-making and deeper relationships, qualities that will undoubtedly serve you well as you grow older. The second method is to embrace simplicity, both in your lifestyle and in your thinking. In today's fast-paced world, we are constantly bombarded with the idea that more is better, more possessions, more success, more experiences. But as the Zen proverb reminds us, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. Simplicity allows you to strip away the unnecessary and focus on what truly matters: your health, your relationships, and your peace of mind. Simplifying doesn't mean giving up on ambition or progress. It means decluttering your life of the things that don't bring lasting value. This becomes even more important as you age, when energy and time become more precious. Men who learn to live simply find that they can enjoy life more fully and with greater satisfaction. Fewer distractions lead to more meaningful pursuits, whether it's spending time with family, engaging in a hobby, or pursuing personal growth. The third method is to nurture compassion, both for yourself and others. Compassion is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, but in reality, it is a profound strength. As the Dalai Lama once said, "If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion." This is especially relevant as you navigate the middle years of life, when responsibilities can pile up and stress can make you less patient or understanding. Practicing compassion allows you to stay connected to those around you, fostering healthier relationships and a sense of community. And just as important, being kind to yourself prevents the burnout that so many men experience in their careers or personal lives. It helps you stay resilient and maintain a positive mindset, even when life throws challenges your way. Compassion keeps your spirit light, no matter how heavy the burdens of life may feel. By incorporating mindfulness, simplicity, and compassion into your daily routine, you are setting yourself up for a future of well-being and peace. These principles aren't just abstract ideas. They are tools you can use every day to enhance your life and the lives of those around you. In the fast-moving, often chaotic modern world, these timeless Zen teachings are more relevant than ever. You might not see the immediate benefits, but trust me, years from now, you will look back and realize how these small changes have made a big difference in your happiness, your health, and your relationships. Just remember the words of Buddha. Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, and faithfulness the best relationship. Carry these methods with you, and the wisdom you build will be a gift to your future self. Final meaning: the power of ancient traditions. Let's take a moment to reflect on the wisdom of ancient traditions. In a world filled with constant change and modern distractions, it can be easy to forget the value of simplicity, the kind that's found in the old ways passed down through generations. Have you ever thought about how something as simple as a key or a clove of garlic has significance beyond its physical use? These humble items, rooted in folklore and ancient rituals, carry the weight of wisdom from times when people lived closer to nature, relying on the earth, their instincts, and each other to navigate life's challenges. The key wasn't just for unlocking doors, but was believed to protect homes, while garlic, often thought of as a spice for cooking, was also considered a tool for warding off negative energy or bad spirits. But why do these simple practices still resonate with us today, in a world that has evolved so much? Because deep down, they remind us of something we often overlook: the power of belief and the importance of intention. When we talk about success or prosperity, many think it comes from external sources: more money, higher status, or material gains. But is that really where true prosperity comes from? The teachings of the Buddha, as well as many other ancient philosophies, tell us that real success doesn't come from outside, but from within. It's not about what you own, but about the energy and attitude you bring into your life. Think about it. When you place belief in something, when you pour your intention into an action, it has the power to shape your reality. Much like how ancient traditions used everyday items for protection or prosperity, we too can use simple acts of mindfulness, gratitude, and positivity to shield ourselves from negativity, whether it's emotional, mental, or spiritual. Now you might be wondering, how can something as simple as placing a key under your pillow or hanging garlic by the door help you today? The answer lies in what these acts represent. They're physical reminders of ancient wisdom that still applies today. Life is not about the grand gestures, but the small, consistent actions you take daily. Returning to these values, balance, respect for nature, and mindful living, can help us find peace in our fast-paced modern lives. It's about trusting that the old ways have stood the test of time for a reason. They ground us, offering stability when the world around us feels uncertain. Ask yourself, when was the last time you found peace in something simple? Maybe it's a quiet walk in nature, a moment of gratitude, or a mindful breath. These small practices can be just as powerful as the ancient rituals because they help us return to a state of balance. By honoring these traditions, not just in the literal sense, but by embracing their deeper meaning, we reconnect with a way of life that fosters inner peace, well-being, and harmony. So, what can you take away from this? It's not the garlic or the key itself that holds the power. It's your belief, your mindset, and the energy you bring into your life. When you place intention in your actions, you cultivate positivity, and that's the kind of protection we all need. The lessons are simple: return to balance, honor simplicity, and remember that success comes from within, not from external sources. It's these small mindful practices, inspired by the wisdom of the past, that help us build a life of true prosperity and peace. What small, meaningful steps will you take today to bring more positivity and balance into your life? The story of Mara, the demon king, and temptation. This is one of the most famous stories in Buddhism, particularly associated with the Buddha's path to enlightenment. It illustrates the final challenges that the Buddha encountered before reaching full enlightenment. Mara, the demon king, symbolizes the temptations and hurdles that all people face on their journey to liberation. Before becoming the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama was a prince who renounced his royal life and comforts in search of a way to end human suffering. After years of practicing extreme self-discipline, he made a decision to sit in meditation beneath the Bodhi tree, vowing not to rise until he had discovered the ultimate truth of life. On the night preceding his enlightenment, Mara, the lord of desire and temptation, made one last attempt to stop Siddhartha from attaining enlightenment. Mara understood that if Siddhartha achieved enlightenment, he would lead others to freedom from suffering, thereby diminishing Mara's influence. Mara knew that if the Buddha attained enlightenment, humanity would no longer be driven by desires, greed, anger, or attachment to material things. To prevent this, Mara used all his strength to test the Buddha. He presented Siddhartha with three powerful temptations: fear, desire, and pride. First, Mara unleashed a fierce army of demons to assault the Buddha. The demons roared and attacked with weapons and dark sorcery, conjuring terrifying illusions to scare the Buddha into abandoning his meditation. Yet the Buddha remained calm and unmoved. In his deep meditative state, nothing external could disturb his mind. As the demons' weapons approached, they transformed into flowers upon touching him, representing how peace and compassion can neutralize any external threat. When Mara's attempt to incite fear failed, he shifted his approach to the lure of beauty and desire, hoping to divert the Buddha's focus. Mara summoned his three daughters, who embodied the forces of lust and sensual pleasure, to seduce the Buddha. These daughters, representing desire, tried every possible method to captivate him, believing that the allure of physical beauty and worldly pleasures would be strong enough to draw him back into the material realm, thereby preventing his enlightenment. However, the Buddha, guided by his profound wisdom and unwavering resolve, remained unmoved. He recognized that the temporary gratification from lust and sensual indulgence ultimately leads to suffering, trapping beings in the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Understanding this, the Buddha did not allow his mind to be distracted by these fleeting desires. Despite their most alluring efforts, Mara's daughters could not succeed in breaking his deep meditation or diverting him from his path to enlightenment. As a last resort, Mara employed his most formidable weapon, pride and arrogance. He appeared before the Buddha and challenged him, saying, "Do you truly believe you can attain enlightenment and save humanity? You are unworthy. I alone possess the strength and the right to rule this world." Mara attempted to sow seeds of doubt in the Buddha's mind, making him question his own worthiness of enlightenment. He demanded that the Buddha prove his worth by summoning witnesses to attest to his merit. In response, the Buddha quietly reached down and touched the earth. In that moment, Mother Earth, Prithvi, appeared as a witness. She affirmed that the Buddha had accumulated immense merit over countless lifetimes and was indeed worthy of enlightenment. Mother Earth declared, "Siddhartha is the one most deserving of enlightenment because he has given up all material attachments and lived a life of compassion and wisdom." Seeing that he could not shake the Buddha's resolve and that all temptations had been overcome, Mara had no choice but to admit defeat and vanish. Having triumphed over all of Mara's challenges, the Buddha remained in deep meditation and, at last, achieved full enlightenment beneath the Bodhi tree. He realized the path to ending suffering and breaking the cycle of rebirth. From that moment, he became the Shakyamuni Buddha, the fully enlightened one. For the rest of his life, he shared his teachings, guiding others to understand karma, the cycle of rebirth, and the noble Eightfold Path as the way to end suffering. Lesson from the story. In life, temptations are always present, and the story of Mara beautifully illustrates this universal truth. Mara, in Buddhist teachings, is not just a single figure, but a symbol of the many obstacles we face on our journey to happiness, peace, and enlightenment. Whether it's fear, desire, pride, or arrogance, these challenges constantly try to pull us off course. The key to overcoming them is not through force, but through wisdom and perseverance. Think about your own life. How often do distractions and temptations keep you from focusing on what truly matters? How often do fear or doubt creep in just when you're about to take an important step forward? Mara lives in all of these moments, but just as the Buddha showed us, we can rise above them. One of the most powerful lessons from this story is that inner peace is stronger than any external threat. When the Buddha faced Mara's army of demons, he didn't fight back with weapons or anger. Instead, he remained calm and peaceful, rooted in his meditation. His inner peace was so powerful that the demons' weapons turned to flowers before they could harm him. This teaches us that true protection comes from within. In our daily lives, how often do we react to challenges with stress or frustration? What if instead we approached these difficulties with calm and clarity, trusting that our inner peace can shield us from the chaos around us? The Buddha's wisdom here is a reminder that we don't need to fight every battle with force. Sometimes the best defense is simply not being disturbed at all. Another important message is that you, and only you, determine your own destiny. No external force can control your life if your mind remains undisturbed. The Buddha showed us that mastering our minds is the real key to overcoming life's challenges. Think about the times when you felt overwhelmed by temptation or doubt. What helped you through it? Was it external circumstances, or was it your own determination and clarity? The story of Mara reminds us that we have the power to shape our own lives, no matter what external challenges we face. The Buddha's approach also highlights the incredible power of humility and compassion. Instead of responding to Mara's pride and arrogance with anger or superiority, the Buddha remained humble and compassionate. He didn't try to prove himself through force or dominance, but through his understanding and kindness. In a world that often values power and possession, this lesson is especially important. True happiness and enlightenment don't come from what we own or control. They come from letting go and showing compassion to others. How different would our lives be if we focused less on acquiring and more on giving? How much more peaceful would the world be if we chose humility over pride? In the end, the story of Mara is not just about the Buddha, it's about all of us. Mara represents the fear, greed, desire, and pride that we all encounter, and the Buddha's victory over these challenges shows us that the path to true happiness lies in mastering our own minds. Through wisdom, inner peace, humility, and compassion, we can overcome any temptation and find lasting peace. The real question is, how will you face your own Mara? Will you let temptations and challenges control your life, or will you, like the Buddha, rise above them with wisdom and grace? The Story of the Merchant and the Noble Eightfold Path. Once upon a time, in the city of Savatthi, there was a prosperous merchant known for his keen business sense and immense fortune. However, his fame wasn't just due to his wealth, but also to his insatiable greed and attachment to his possessions. The merchant spent most of his time consumed by thoughts of safeguarding his riches, fearing their loss. In his obsessive vigilance over his estate, he neglected his relationships with family and friends. Despite his great wealth, he was never truly satisfied, always living in a state of fear and anxiety. One day the merchant heard about the Buddha and his teachings, which promised a path to true peace and happiness. Although skeptical at first, curiosity eventually led him to seek an audience with the Buddha, hoping to learn more. When he met the Buddha, the merchant asked, "Master, I have accumulated great wealth, yet I am constantly plagued by anxiety and cannot find lasting happiness. How can I live in peace without being bound by my possessions?" The Buddha, understanding that the merchant's mind was clouded by greed and attachment, which are the roots of suffering, began to teach him. He explained the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide that leads to liberation from attachments and the discovery of true happiness. The Buddha explained that desire, craving, and attachment to material wealth and power are among the three poisons that cause suffering: greed, hatred, and delusion. Only by releasing these attachments can one find liberation from the cycle of suffering. The Noble Eightfold Path is the way to this freedom. The Buddha then explained each aspect of the path to the merchant, encouraging him to practice detachment. 1. Right view, samadhi. Understanding the impermanent nature of life and recognizing that everything is governed by cause and effect. The Buddha taught that clinging to material possessions only increases suffering because they are temporary. 2. Right intention, samma sankappa. Cultivating pure intentions, free from desires and cravings. The Buddha reminded the merchant that instead of fixating on wealth, he should develop compassion and kindness toward others. 3. Right speech, samma vaka. Speaking truthfully and kindly. The Buddha emphasized that how we communicate impacts our hearts and minds. Words should be used to convey love and truth, not to deceive or foster greed. 4. Right action, samma kammanta. Acting in ways that do no harm to others. The Buddha advised the merchant to always act with compassion, avoiding actions that might cause harm for personal gain. 5. Right livelihood, samma ajva. Earning a living honestly, without exploiting others for profit. The Buddha reminded the merchant that true wealth comes from not causing suffering to others in pursuit of one's gain. 6. Right effort, samma vayama. Exerting effort to avoid bad habits and develop good ones. The Buddha taught the merchant to diligently work toward liberation and not be distracted by fleeting material desires. 7. Right mindfulness, samma sati. Maintaining awareness of one's actions, words, and thoughts. The Buddha encouraged the merchant to practice mindfulness so that he would not be overwhelmed by greed or worry over his wealth. 8. Right concentration, samma samadhi. Practicing meditation to cultivate focus and inner peace. The Buddha advised the merchant to meditate regularly to quiet his restless mind and attain inner calm. After listening to the Buddha's teachings, the merchant realized that his constant anxiety and fear were rooted in his attachment to wealth and possessions. He understood that no matter how much he accumulated, true happiness would remain elusive as long as he was bound by his cravings. Determined to change, the merchant vowed to follow the noble Eightfold Path. He began to share his wealth with those in need and devoted time to meditation, seeking peace within himself. Slowly, he let go of his attachment to wealth, finding joy and contentment through generosity and detachment. As time passed, the merchant no longer lived in constant fear and worry. He experienced a deep sense of peace, unburdened by the pressures of material wealth. He came to understand that true happiness is found in letting go of attachments and living with compassion and wisdom. In the end, by practicing the noble Eightfold Path, the merchant achieved peace and happiness. He not only remained wealthy in material possessions, but also became rich in wisdom and compassion, finally discovering true fulfillment in life. Lesson from the story. Let's take a moment to reflect on something truly profound. The things we cling to most in life, wealth, possessions, and status, are often the very things that bring us the most anxiety and suffering. The Buddha once said, "You only lose what you cling to." And this simple truth resonates deeply when we examine the root of human suffering. Greed and attachment are powerful forces that can trap us in a cycle of worry, fear, and dissatisfaction. We may strive to accumulate more, thinking it will bring happiness, but in reality, it only adds to our burden. So, how do we break free from this endless cycle? The answer lies in the Buddha's teachings, specifically the Noble Eightfold Path. This path offers a clear and practical guide for anyone who seeks true peace and happiness. It's not about renouncing everything you own, but about shifting your mindset, seeing the impermanence of things and understanding that attachment only leads to suffering. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on life. It means living with wisdom and compassion, free from the chains of greed. When you release your grip on material possessions, you open yourself up to something far greater, inner peace and lasting happiness. Let go of what is holding you back, the Buddha taught, and you will be free. Have you ever asked yourself what you're holding on to that's causing you suffering? Is it something material, or perhaps an old grudge or desire? How would your life change if you let it go? By embracing the Noble Eightfold Path, you practice right understanding, right intention, and right action, ways to live ethically, think clearly, and act with kindness. As you walk this path, you'll find that life's pressures begin to lift, and true contentment emerges from within, not from what you own. The story of the merchant shows us that wealth can never buy peace, but letting go of attachment can. So, I invite you to reflect on this in your own life. What would happen if you practiced letting go? You might just find the happiness you've been searching for all along. If this resonates with you, don't hesitate to continue this conversation. Let's explore these ideas together. And as we conclude today, take a deep breath, relax, and allow yourself to rest in the present moment. You'll be surprised how transformative even a few moments of stillness can be. Have you considered what attachments might be causing you suffering? If this resonates, type "Path to Freedom" below to affirm your journey toward inner peace. There's more wisdom ahead to guide you on this path, so keep watching to learn how small shifts in mindset can lead to lasting happiness. The Story of Anathapindika. Anathapindika holds a prominent place in Buddhist history as one of its most celebrated benefactors. Known for his immense fortune and boundless generosity, he also learned a life-changing lesson about greed and the true value of compassion through the Buddha's teachings. Anathapindika was a wealthy merchant residing in the city of Savatthi. His reputation for charity was widespread, as he was always ready to assist the poor and care for orphaned children. His kindness earned him the name Anathapindika, meaning feeder of the orphans and helpless. Despite his material abundance, Anathapindika felt a lingering sense of emptiness and sought to understand the deeper meaning of life. When he encountered the Buddha, Anathapindika was taught about the nature of greed and the fleeting nature of wealth. The Buddha explained that while material possessions might bring short-lived pleasure, focusing solely on accumulating wealth leads to suffering and entrapment. The Buddha said, "A wealthy person who does not know how to use their riches wisely will only experience misery and anxiety. True happiness does not come from wealth alone. It is through sharing and living with compassion that one can find peace and tranquility." Moved by these words, Anathapindika had a profound realization. Although he had gathered great riches, they had not brought him lasting joy. He resolved to live according to the Buddha's teachings and change his way of life. Inspired by the Buddha's wisdom, Anathapindika began using his wealth to help even more people in need. He generously donated to the construction of monasteries for the Buddha and his followers and continued to care for the homeless, ensuring they had food, clothing, and shelter. Among his many charitable acts, he devoted a substantial portion of his wealth to building Jetavana, a grand monastery where the Buddha and his disciples could rest and teach the Dharma. This monastery would go on to become one of the most famous and significant of its time. Though he gave away much of his fortune in service to others, Anathapindika found a deep sense of contentment and inner peace. No longer burdened by greed or anxiety over his possessions, he discovered a more meaningful and fulfilling life through compassion and generosity. As he aged, Anathapindika's health declined, and much of his wealth had been spent in helping others. Yet he felt no regret. Instead, he believed he had lived a truly happy and purposeful life, having realized that true wealth lies not in material things, but in the love and compassion we share with others. When his final days approached, the Buddha sent his most trusted disciples to comfort Anathapindika. He passed away peacefully, knowing that he had lived a life free from greed, filled with generosity and joy. Lessons from the story of Anathapindika. In the story of Anathapindika, we are reminded of a crucial lesson that resonates deeply, particularly as we consider the long-term trajectory of our lives. As we pursue success and material wealth, it's important to understand that true fulfillment cannot be found in possessions alone. Anathapindika, once a wealthy merchant, learned firsthand that material wealth provides only temporary satisfaction. No matter how much we accumulate, if we focus solely on acquiring more without considering how to use it wisely or share it generously, we will always feel anxious, restless, and unsatisfied. The Buddha's teaching here echoes timeless wisdom. The more you have, the more you are occupied. The less you have, the more free you are. This quote from Mother Teresa beautifully complements the message that wealth itself is not a source of lasting happiness. Anathapindika discovered that sharing is the true source of joy and peace. By giving to others, he not only alleviated their suffering, but found immense inner peace and happiness himself. When we are generous, we benefit not only those we help, but also transform our own hearts, creating a sense of purpose and fulfillment that money alone could never provide. As the Buddha said, thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. In modern life, this lesson is just as relevant. We may strive for promotions, bigger homes, or luxury items, but in the end, the contentment we seek will come through acts of kindness and sharing with those in need. It's a timeless truth that what we give away often brings us more satisfaction than what we keep. Another essential takeaway from Anathapindika's story is the importance of compassion and the ability to let go of greed. When we are bound by our attachment to material possessions, we become prisoners of our desires. However, when we live with compassion and release our attachment to things, we are free to experience true happiness. The Buddha's teachings guide us to understand that attachment is the root of suffering. In our fast-paced, consumer-driven world, this is especially pertinent. Many of us spend our lives chasing after the next big thing, but once we achieve it, the satisfaction quickly fades. Learning to cultivate compassion, both for ourselves and others, and learning to let go of what we cannot hold on to forever, brings profound peace. Anathapindika's life exemplifies how true freedom comes from releasing the grasp on material desires and embracing a life of kindness and empathy. The value of enlightenment through the Buddha's teachings cannot be overstated in Anathapindika's journey. When he let go of greed and embraced compassion, he achieved a deeper understanding of life's true value, found not in wealth, but in kindness, love, and generosity. This is a powerful reminder to us that the lessons we learn in life often come from listening to wise counsel and applying it to our own experiences. As we age, it's essential to reflect on what truly matters. Enlightenment is when a wave realizes it is the ocean, said Thich Nhat Hanh, perfectly capturing the essence of letting go of our ego and material desires to find our deeper connection with all living beings. The story of Anathapindika can also be compared to the tale of King Midas from Greek mythology. Both stories warn against the dangers of greed and the desire for endless wealth. However, while King Midas learned in a harsh and painful way, everything he touched turned to gold, even his food and daughter. Anathapindika found liberation earlier through the practice of compassion and sharing. This contrast serves as a powerful example in Buddhism of how one can live a life free from greed and instead embrace a path of peace and happiness. Whether living in wealth or poverty, Anathapindika felt fulfilled because he understood the true value of life lies in the love and compassion we show toward others. This is a timeless lesson for us all. Life's real richness is not measured by how much we own, but by how much we care for those around us. The story of water and life in Buddhism. A long time ago, when the Buddha was still in this world, he traveled extensively to share his teachings and guide beings toward freedom from suffering. During one of these journeys, the Buddha and his monks came across a small village near the Niranjana River. The region was suffering from a terrible drought, with plants wilting and the rivers, streams and lakes dried up. The people of the village were struggling, many were sick, crops had failed, and families were falling into poverty. Day after day, the villagers prayed to the gods for rain, but there was no response, only relentless heat. When the Buddha and his followers arrived, the villagers, having heard of his wisdom, rushed to seek his guidance. They pleaded, "Lord Buddha, we are in great distress. Without water, our crops have failed. The trees won't grow, and sickness is spreading among us. Please show us a way out of this suffering." The Buddha, with compassion in his eyes, listened quietly to their cries. Instead of speaking immediately, he led the monks and villagers to the dry riverbed of the Niranjana River. Sitting down in silence, he gazed deeply at the river's barren course as if seeing the water flow in his mind. Then he began to teach them about the essence of water in life. Water, he said, is the foundation of all life. It nurtures plants, it purifies, and it sustains human existence. The mind is like water. If water is clear and pure, so too is the mind, filled with compassion and clarity. But if water becomes murky and polluted, the mind is clouded with greed, anger, and delusion. He went on, "Just as water cleanses all impurities, compassion can wash away suffering. Yet if you do not respect water, if you neglect to preserve and care for it, it will dry up and become useless. When people fail to honor and conserve water, they must bear the consequences. The villagers were deeply moved by the Buddha's words. They realized that their situation wasn't just about praying for rain, it was about respecting and protecting the water sources they had. The Buddha continued, "You must live in balance with nature and be wise in your use of water. Keep it clean, but even more important, keep your mind clear and peaceful." Then, the Buddha led the villagers in meditation beside the dry riverbed. He encouraged them to still their minds, to connect with the living world around them. He taught them to keep their hearts calm, free from greed and fear, just as they should keep the rivers and streams unpolluted by careless actions. The following day, something extraordinary happened. Heavy rain fell upon the parched land, reviving the trees and crops. The villagers rejoiced, realizing that not only had their prayers been answered, but their change in attitude had played a part as well. From that day forward, the villagers followed the Buddha's teachings. They treated water with respect, maintained the cleanliness of their streams, and lived in harmony with nature. Their hearts grew more peaceful, and their lives became happier and more prosperous. Lesson from the story. Your reflection beautifully ties together Buddhist teachings, the symbolism of water, and the journey toward enlightenment. The metaphor of water as purity, adaptability, and life-giving force resonates deeply with the core of Buddhist philosophy. Just as water nourishes life and cleanses the earth, compassion and mindfulness cleanse our minds and hearts, allowing us to find peace and clarity amidst life's struggles. The Buddha's lesson about water teaches us that respect for nature reflects the respect we should have for our inner world. In a world that often pulls us toward external achievements and distractions, this story reminds us that our true source of fulfillment comes from within. Water, in its quiet and gentle way, symbolizes the flow of mindfulness, a constant yet flexible force that adapts and purifies. When we forget this, just like neglecting the importance of water, we lose our sense of peace, much like a drought in the soul. The Zen story of the villagers waiting for rain mirrors our own modern lives. Often, we look outward for solutions to our problems, hoping that material success, recognition, or the approval of others will fill the void within. Yet, as the Buddha taught, the real answer lies in cultivating compassion and mindfulness. These qualities, like water, bring life and nourishment to our inner world. When we turn our focus inward through meditation and reflection, we reconnect with our true selves, just as the villagers came to appreciate the value of water after meditating by the dry riverbed. This shift in perspective is transformative. The miracle of rain after the villagers' meditation represents the awakening that happens when we align our minds with compassion, care, and mindfulness. This shift is not about waiting for external miracles, but about realizing that the change starts within us. When we purify our thoughts and actions, we create the conditions for peace and prosperity to flow naturally into our lives. This story invites us to pause and think about how we are living. Are we too waiting for external solutions, or are we taking responsibility for our actions and thoughts? As the saying goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The villagers were ready to learn, and so the Buddha's teachings could take root. Similarly, when we are ready to look within, we can begin to transform our lives. Respecting water, like respecting our minds, is a practice. When we take small, mindful steps, whether it's caring for the environment, practicing kindness, or meditating, we pave the way for a life of greater peace and fulfillment. As we age and face new challenges, these practices will sustain us. Just like the villagers who cherished every drop of water, we must learn to cherish the small moments and acts of compassion that will cleanse and nourish our souls. Remember, as the Buddha said, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." This is a lifelong journey, and with each step we move closer to peace, happiness, and inner freedom. Thank you for joining me today on the Journey of Wisdom as we explored these 3 transformative methods from Zen stories and Buddhist teachings. I hope you found value in these timeless practices and that they resonate with you in a meaningful way, offering insights that will serve you for years to come. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming content. Together, let's continue this journey toward wisdom, peace, and balance. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.